Hi guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for stopping back by and showing all the love and support on all my previous videos. And if you just joined us today because of this video, like where you've been, like it's been going on, but you just came in now. But thank you so much for coming back by, and hopefully you like, subscribe and share. So on today's video, we're going to be talking about Temptation Island. So Temptation Island, basically, it's a new reality show in South Africa. At first, I was kind of wary when I heard of Temptation Island coming because of Love Island, which came before. It was kind of a snooze fest. The quality was not as great. You didn't quite enjoy what was happening because at times you'd be watching this, then the cameraman does this, the sound was a bit off, and there was just a lot of boringness with Love Island. So when Temptation Island, I was kind of worried about it, but then I actually watched the trailer and I was like, okay, let's give it a shot. You know, FOMO got to me and I was like, let me give it a shot, and I watched it, and I must say it's absolutely amazing. It's just a lot is happening. There's a lot of drama, there's love, there's hate, there's just a lot at play. So basically what Temptation Island is about, it follows 4 couples who are going to be living in separate villas. So there's going to be a guy's villa with the 4 guys and the ladies' villa with the 4 ladies. So these 4 couples are going to come on the show and then get to test their love. Like, what limits can their love go? Do they love each other that much? Are they willing to put their love at a test to see how much they love each other? Are they their own soulmates, or are they going to find soulmates in the houses or outside the houses? So what happens is that these couples come on the show, they're separated, living separately. Then we have the plot twist. So with the plot twist of the show, there's 20 singles. So there's 10 single guys and 10 single ladies coming. So the 4 ladies who are in a separate villa, part of the couples, are going to be living with the 10 single guys. So from those 10 single guys, they're going to be mingling together, dating each other, doing all sorts of shebangs where the networks don't work. Then we also have with the guys, they're going to be doing the same thing with 10 ladies. So the 4 guys, 10 ladies, 1 house. Like, just think of the whole thing. 4 guys, 10 ladies, 4 girls, 10 guys. There's just a lot happening. Already, it's a good starter to the show. So with the show, we get introduced to these 4 couples. So the 4 couples include Estelle and Justin. So Estelle and Justin have been together for 13 years, if you could say, because they met at school. So basically Justin, just to get you the story, Justin is a bricklayer, because Estelle was dating Justin's friend in high school. So while dating Justin's friend in high school, they saw each other and they're like, oh, okay, I liked Justin more. So they were on and off between those 13 years, but officially started dating 5 months. Then we also have Grant and Precious. They're just the most cutest couple. Like, it's your cute couple next door. You don't expect them to be on a show like this because of how innocent looking they are. But that's what you think. You know, that's another plot twist in terms of Precious and Grant, because you don't necessarily think, okay, are they going to fit into a space of such a show? Are they going to crumble under the pressure? Are they going to leave early and be like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I just want to go. I don't know what I signed up for. There's a lot happening with them. So with them, they've been together for 4 years. So they love each other, but there's a lot of complications within the relationship that we actually get to find out the first episode. So this is the first episode, and we actually get to see why there is a certain type of detachment between the two. But we'll get onto that later. Then followed by Musa and Fiso. So from my own understanding, looking at Musa and Fiso, it's more of an alpha male and alpha female type of situation. So they tend to clash quite a lot, and especially looking at their tribes are very dominant. It's full of very dominant people. So there's power clash all the time, whereas this one wants to be, you know, the bull in the relationship, and this one also comes in and wants to play the bull in the relationship, so they tend to clash most of the time. And plus, one thing we also get to learn from the first episode is that Usfiso wants Musa to play the Makoti type, always being there doing wifely duties. But nigga, you ain't married yet. Like, why should you do that? Because we know, like, with South African men, with men in general, how we are. You would date somebody, this person would do the wifely duties, would go around, I'm a makoti, man. Akotise. Then after, you go and marry somebody who doesn't even care-ish about that. Somebody who won't do nothing of that. So at times, you get to understand why Musa would be a bit hesitant on that, because you didn't marry me, I'm just a girlfriend, but then you want me to do that. And also there was infidelity. So with the infidelity part of their relationship, it's that Musa found out that the time they were separated for 2 weeks, Sfiso actually hooked up with another girl, but Sfiso feels like, no, it wasn't cheating. So they kind of have their issues on that. So the last couple that we have is MJ and Ntabi. So I think like with MJ and Ntabi, if you watch the Mojo Love show, the way Nginga Corner rather, you'd actually know MJ. And Ntabi was introduced at this past series, I think it was season 3 if I'm not mistaken, that Ntabi was introduced as MJ's new girlfriend on the show. So with MJ, everybody knows, a self-proclaimed twin plaque. So with him, it's a matter of maybe, okay, he will be in a villa with girls, with 10 girls. But since he said he likes guys as well, what's going to happen if he's got his eye on one of the guys in the other villa? We kind of were waiting for that, but we don't know, but we're not sure. So it's something that we know or know. MJ, as you know from the show that he was on previously, he is a playboy. Like, you've seen him, he was like literally the bad guy of the show. Everybody loved to hate, because of his nature, because of the way he plays boys and girls. Like, it doesn't matter. He chows everything. Like, and with them, they say apparently they are like in love and they're just doing this to see if they can withstand that and take their relationship further. Can they trust each other? Like, since the show started, they've been saying, we love each other. We feel like, our love is stronger than this. We just want to see. It's basically an experiment of some sort for them because they feel that their love is stronger. But we don't know. So, fast forward, recap, the show starts. So, the show starts with the first meetup. So the couples get to meet the singles of the show. So among the singles that we see quite a few familiar faces. Gigi Lamaine, to name a few, Tet Nkonzo of the guys, and Eve. So Gigi Lamaine, as everybody knows, is a well-known musician in South Africa. Tet Nkonzo is a stand-up comedian, and Eve is an actress. So if you know that these people are there. So one person that actually stood up for the couples was Nicole, because of her attitude and her energy, and all the couples felt like, oh, this one is like the one, because Grant kept on popping up, like in Grant's mind, Nicole. So Grant was actually eyeing Nicole the whole time. So they get to meet the guys and the girls. So the guys introduce themselves, the ladies introduce themselves. So the original it couple, MJ and Ntabi, the ones that claim that their love is stronger than anything else in this world. They're the ones that are like bringing in the spice. So they busy throwing some banter to the singles, like, throwing some jabs and jabs. But the singles are like, no, man, it ain't gonna happen like that. Because I remember one of the guys was even saying, but I'm going to be living with your girl, telling MJ that. So then MJ's comeback was like, he doesn't like short guys, which I thought was like, you could have done better than that. They got you with that jab, but you just didn't do enough. Then Gigi Lamaine was bringing in the spice. Gigi Lamaine was a girl on a mission, a girl who knew the assignment and understood it very well, because she didn't let Ntabi come there with the NJ busy throwing jabs and letting them go. She literally gave them clap back after clap back after clap back. And I feel like with Gigi Lamaine, there's a lot to see with her because she is literally bringing in the spies from day one. So fast forward, they go to the villas. The villas are absolutely amazing. Like, if you could check out, those are nice villas. Like, they are really, really top shayla. So they fast forward their second day. Now the singles have to come into the houses. So they firstly start off with the boys. So with the boys, Fat Joe comes through as he's the host of the show. Fat Joe comes through, speaks to them a little bit, and that's when Nicole's name keeps on popping up. So they're like, oh, okay, that means you all saw Nicole, because most of the guys they were like Nicole because of her energy. Like, no, she has a lot of energy and she was working so and so and so. So like, okay, these guys are looking at Nicole. Sharp, cool. So Fat Joe brings in the guys, the ladies rather. The ladies come through to the gents' villa. The gents are more welcoming because I feel like with guys we are more welcoming, we are more receptive. You know, we are trying to make the ladies feel comfortable in their own space. So they make the ladies feel comfortable. So now, through that, oh, they're having shots, it's a nice vibe, they talking, and they you know, just getting along. And we have, oh, Dimple is very beautiful, guys. Like, if you could see Dimple. But that's a story for another day. So now, Grant and Zinhle. So Grant and Zinhle go up to Grant's room. No, don't go far. Take your mind out of the gutter. It's not that party. So Grant and Zinhle go to the room. So that's where we get to understand of, okay, why are Grant and Precious actually on the show? So with Grant and Precious going up to the room, so what happened was that they were speaking about the type of lady that Grant wants. So Grant spoke about the type of lady that he wants. And one thing that I noticed that popped up was an independent woman, which was his issue basically with Precious, because he said that Precious has been going to school for quite some time and that he felt that, you know what, even though she gets part-time jobs, he doesn't feel that they're enough for her to also chip in, because he would love rather a lady who chips in now and then, so that they, you know, the status quo in the relationship can be somewhat even. Which is, Zinhle was like, okay, I'm that type of girl, you know. It's just that sometimes my problems in relationships is that the men tend to feel intimidated because of how independent I am, how I can take care of the bills, how you can call and say, ish baby, ish, because so she would do that. So basically that's what Zinhle said about herself, whereas Grant was complaining about Precious. So that's where we actually got to see that, oh, with Grant and Precious, basically money and independency is an issue in that relationship, whereas Grant wants more, whereas Precious can only offer a certain amount because she is a student after all. Like, she's like 23 if I'm not mistaken, so she is still studying. So she finished school, high school, then went to study. So Grant was like, she has been studying, now it's time for her to chip in. So that's what we get to understand with regards to their relationship. So fast forward, we go into the ladies' villa. So with the ladies' villa, so before Fat Joe arrives, they have like some sort of a meet sections to speak. What they spoke about mostly was the other ladies, surprising enough, you know, because I thought maybe since, you know, I'm here to mingle with other guys to see if my relationship is working, to see if can me and my partner take the next step of our relationship, or are we calling it quits? Am I finding a new partner here, like, you know, or am I gonna leave alone single and find my other soulmate out there? But surprisingly enough, they were talking about the other girls. Why? Why do you talk about other girls? Because I even, Tabby was like, yeah, they pretty, you know, I was just throwing jabs. So basically, from what she said is that she finds the ladies very attractive. Like, she feels that the ladies are very attractive. She was just, you know, throwing some banter aroundness basically. So it wasn't much of that. So I feel like they should be discussing the guys, you know, discuss the guys and say, oh, I had my eye on A, B, and C, but then wara wara wara. So now, while the guys, Fedjo comes in, calls in the guys, and we get to actually see how they interact with the guys during the show. So the interactions with the guys were I didn't actually enjoy the interactions with the guys because I didn't actually get to see more of them as the ladies. I felt like their minds were elsewhere, you know, they were not there at the current moment. They just felt a bit distant, you know, they felt like they were not there, they were not really connecting. So we're going to start off with Precious. So Precious, I just forgot the other guy's name, you know, I forgot his name. The Nigerian guy, he said he's Nigerian. I just forgot his name. Let's see if I can get his name. What is his name? Is it Dino? Day. That's his name. Precious was more close to Dino. So with Precious, for me, it was surprising but quite expected at the same time. I'm not sure if I'm making sense. Because Precious at the dinner with Fedjo, she spoke about how she is so ready for this, how there's no rules, how, you know, they can't wait for this experience. But the moment the guys came 360, she was crying, speaking about how what did she sign herself up for. She doesn't think for it was gonna be like this. She doesn't know if she's ready for such an experience. She was crying. So I thought, okay, it's understandable, you know, it's the first day and it's kind of overwhelming, you know. But then the guy came, there was also Ted and the other guy, they came like, you know, just to, you know, don't cry, don't worry, we're here for you. But then later on, the other girls, Estelle and Musa, we didn't really quite see them that much during the time because there was a center around another situation, which was with Ntabi. So with Ntabi, she was with this other guy, but she kind of felt bored, if I could say so myself, because she was speaking with the guy. Next minute they're speaking, okay, enjoying the convo. Next minute Ntabi is going and it's like, no, let's go have fun. Goes to Precious, who was sitting with two other guys by the pool. So she gets to the pool and splashes water on Precious. So Precious, what happened? Precious started crying. I was like, I don't want to get wet. No. And I was like, okay, is it that heavy though? Because I feel like Precious was just going through a roller coaster of emotions that day because she cried, you know, and speaking about how she feels that Ntabi just is being mean and all that, because Ntabi was like, it's not that serious, sis, I ain't gonna get into this with you, we're not gonna fight over this, which I feel like Ntabi is, you know, first date, the mean girl of the show, you know, the girl that is gonna bring a whole lot of spice. Even if you check the trailers after the show, you're going to get to see the snippets of like, oh, so basically Ntabi is setting herself out to be, you know, the gal, you understand? So with her, that's what we get to see with her. So Precious was crying too much for me, you know. This is a fun show. This is a show we get to see. You want to date new people, you want to see new experiences, you want to experience new things, and you're crying as just, it's a ball fest, you know. And for a 23-year-old, I expected so much from her, especially the way she came on so strong, speaking about not being any rules. She wants to get this experience. She can't wait for this experience. For her to be crying almost every single time the camera was on her, it kind of made it, it felt a bit off for me, you know. It just felt a bit like, what's going to happen within the season, you know? Because with her guy that she was with most of the time was even consoling her, telling her, you know, how some people are, But I feel like that guy is always centering every single topic about his package on the meet and greet, same thing, it's packaged. When they were talking about the sun, same thing, I can offer vitamin D. Every single conversation with him tends to go around that, which kind of gets boring at times, like, nigga, move on. So that's how it went. So basically with Estelle and Musa, we didn't get to see much of them during that time. We just got to see a whole lot of that. But with what's happening, with the snippets that they gave us at the end, I feel like this show is definitely a show that I'm gonna be watching very closely, because a lot is going to be happening. We're going to get to see a whole lot more of these people. And if the first episode was that great, like, what's going to happen? What's going to come? Like the second episode, the third episode, because from the second episode, they're supposed to pick a guy that they want to go on a date with. So we get to actually see who are they going to pick. Because if I see clearly, from the guys, Justin, I'm not sure where he's leaning towards, because I feel like Justin was not ready for the experience, because he said that, okay, he was not ready, he didn't want to do this. Estelle pushed them to do this. So we're not sure who is he going for, because Estelle, I think Estelle, her face, a whole face, Estelle still wants to enjoy more. Estelle, so Justin was pushed to do this. So we don't actually know much of who Justin is actually going for, because I didn't really see much of, okay, where is he leaning? It felt like he was, that guy friend, friendly with all the girls, making them feel comfortable and all that. MJ from there didn't even remember Angelique's name. Angelique was like, what's my name? You don't know my name? Boy, bye. Left. So MJ as well. But with MJ, it's like that maybe he was just trying to, not get attached to the ladies or anything. So we don't know with him. With Grant, it could be either Zintle or Nicole, because those were the two that he was actually quite leaning to. Then with Fiso, it could be Dimple, because I saw that him and Dimple actually kind of liked each other. We're not sure. Maybe probably Eva as well. I'm not sure. With the ladies, with Precious, obviously it's going to be Dino. Like, I feel like that's like an obvious choice, because since Dino came in, was with Precious, went to the room, was with Precious, went by the pool, was with Precious, walking around the house, was with Precious. So I feel like that's an obvious choice, and I feel like Grant needs to keep an eye on somebody. Then with Estelle and Musa, Estelle, I saw that with Estelle, during the meetup, he liked Tats, because he saw the guy, and I was like, if you look at Tats, let me put the pictures, I'm gonna link the pictures up here. You see, this is Justin, this is Tats. Estelle has a type. That's how I feel, because the moment he was like, oh, the guy with the cap, and I was like looking at Tats and Bonzo, and I was looking at Justin, and I'm like, this is Estelle's type. Estelle definitely has her type. So I feel like maybe she would lean towards that type of type, but we'll get to see. We'll see on the second episode. And then with Musa, we didn't really also get to see much of her during this meets, so I'm not quite sure of who she would go for. But at the meetup, she spoke about the guy with the muscles. So the guy with the muscles, so she could go for this guy. What's his name? Where's the guy? Max. So she could go for Max. So with Musa, she could go for Max. So we'll get to see what's happening, and hopefully they bring more spice, they bring more drama, because what's a reality show without that, It's about that, It's everything and more. So hopefully we get to see more of that. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure that you like, subscribe, share, comment again, comment ever again, tell your friends, tell your grandmother, tell your dog, tell everybody, tell the whole neighborhood, in fact, that we are watching Temptation Island Season 1 South Africa. So they better subscribe to the channel, click on the notification bell so that they can get every single video and don't miss a beat. You know what to do. Cody D Legacy.